We're good?
Ready. So,
Okay, let it start us off.
Alright.
Ow! Already off to a great start. Great work.
3, 2,
Hold on. Okay.
1.
Do the wide panel. Okay. Alright, I'll start it off.
What's going on, guys? It's Landon from the SJND Sports Talk Podcast. Today I'm here hosting with
Grace and Martin.
and we are joined by a very special guest today. What is your name?
Cooper Teare.
And what sport did you play here?
I did track and field and cross country and tried to do basketball, but I didn't quite make the team.
Hey, you can try though. First of all, how does it feel to be back on campus?
It's weird, honestly. I feel so far removed from it now, but when I really think about it, like the second I got back onto campus, it felt like it's so familiar. So yeah, not too much has changed, but yeah, it's been, I think, like almost 7 years since I went to school here, so I don't feel that old, but it is a little bit weird coming back.
Do you notice any little things that are different, or is it mostly just the same?
It's mostly the same, honestly. Like I mean, I look around and like the gym feels the same, and I feel like I'm going back in time, honestly. But it's always felt like home. So yeah, it's good to be back.
That's awesome.
Good to have you back.
Thank you. Yeah.
And what made you choose SJND for coming here for your high school?
Yeah, it wasn't even really on my radar until I came in the summer, and it was kind of by chance. One of my friends that I used to play soccer with was gonna come to do the cross country camp over the summer, and he was gonna do it with his brother, and his brother started crying and said, "I don't want to run," and so I think his parents called mine, and they were like, "Does Cooper want to go do the running camp?" And I was like, "Sure." And I'd done some running in the past, and I went, and my coach Tony Fong was like, "You have to come here. I won't have it any other way." So I ended up talking to my parents and making it work, and yeah, the rest is history.
So you would say you made the right choice then?
Definitely, yeah. No, I would never change that choice. I had a great time here, great experience, and I think it kind of set me up really well for the future and everywhere I'm at now.
Could you touch on a little more about how the school itself prepared you academically, not only academically but also athletically?
Yeah, I feel like I just was really well prepared to learn routine and be structured. It's one of the things that I think I struggle with a little bit, and I definitely was a pretty young and immature when I got here, and I think by the time I left, I felt like I could handle my own business, and I went into college and didn't have any issues or anything. So I felt like I just really was prepped well, and kind of learned to be independent and do things on my own and ask questions, and I think it really helped me mature being here.
Yeah, I don't think that's changed that much. I still feel really prepared compared to when I came here as a freshman, just for life after college and sports and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, like taking initiative to start a podcast and stuff like that. It's really cool to see people inspired.
Thank you. So with that, we had obviously the questions here, but we want to give you some props just to remember. If you could bring up the little prop we have here for you.
Yeah, you're probably pretty familiar
with this memory or idea.
Let's see.
This is straight from the trophy case. So if you take a look at this,
you remember that?
Here.
Yeah. Wow, this is a great day for me. I don't know if I'm supposed to.
No, yeah, please.
This is my first and only track state championship. I actually won this by I think it was 0.001 of a second, which was, I don't know, a male, just throw it right there. Which was insane, and that was the best day ever, because I was convinced I didn't win, and I mean half the guys on here I had raced so many times and honestly lost to many times, so that was kind of my breakout race and set the scene for my upcoming senior year. So I won this as a junior, and that was mind blowing to me, just because I was such a little nerd when it came down to running. I knew every guy who had won the state title, and this was over 2 miles, and back to guys who turned pro, and I looked up to, and so winning that was really huge in my eyes, and I feel like kind of maybe validated me a little bit coming down to moving into my senior year and having a lot loftier goals, and just set the stage for what was to come.
All right, yeah, so you think it was definitely very significant in showing that you can be just more than a high school runner then?
Absolutely, and what's interesting about this race is in cross country. I'd won the state title that year, but it was only Division 5, so it was a little bit like, I don't know. It was a big milestone, but it wasn't, statewide really. It was D5, and this was everyone combined, a lot of D1 runners, D2 runners, and so to be able to do that and kind of do it out of D5 and make that happen was really cool. So that was definitely like a huge step.
Yeah.
And how like significant was this for like the SJND like community? Like when you came back to school, was it like a big thing?
Yeah, it was huge. It was honestly so cool. I just remember coming back and everyone was so excited, and I mean just being there with my team. Like all my teammates came, and remember they painted their chests and like had my name on it. It was really cool, and like I think my other teammates really got inspired by it as well, and we had a really good senior season following. So yeah, it was really cool, and it's great to feel the recognition from the school as well, because I feel like everyone was really proud of me and really made that apparent.
Yeah, definitely. I think just like not only you getting the recognition, but just being able to inspire your teammates, classmates, it's very important for the whole school community.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, anyways, would you like to intro the next question?
Okay, so we're quoting you here. You once said, "I chose to run because I played every other sport and I was always average, but could never really excel at them, and running always seemed to come naturally to me, so I pursued it." So the question for this is, what sport would you have liked to play at SJND, or like what's like your favorite sports besides like track and cross country?
Yeah, I was awful at soccer, so definitely not that. I think basketball, like I came and did a basketball camp here also when I was in 8th grade, and met one of my really good friends who ended up running with me as well, Willie Mean, and I totally, there's obviously a huge basketball history here as well, and some big names, and especially people in my class. I had some really good basketball players that I hung out with my time here, and so I think that was definitely the legacy that I would want to be part of if I wasn't running. And I feel like the track and cross country are kind of up there in the history now with a couple really good years that we had. So definitely if I had to pick a different one, it probably would have been basketball, but there was no chance that was going to happen.
It was all the right outcome in the end. And you talk about just the history of cross country being more just elevated within the school, and I think that a lot of that is thanks to you. So
yeah, you're still inspiring people to this day. Yeah. Like there's people that are on the track and cross country team asking about you today.
Yeah,
his name will always be up there. So.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy to come back and see the banners and everything, because when I came in here, I was so in awe of the people who were up there as being like All-Americans and things like that, and to be up there as well and have done that was something that I never thought possible, but it's just going through the motions and being committed to what you want to do and knowing your goals and knowing what you can do and what's possible, and ended up even better than I ever could have expected.
A lot of people. And this is crazy.
Yeah,
being able to come back here as who you are now, it's just really a testament to how hard you've worked.
Yeah,
in your life. It's
so funny because I was here every day as just a normal person. I still feel that way, but then I come back and you guys are like, you're the first celebrity, which is so funny to me.
It's true, man.
But it's really cool. It's really cool.
That's awesome. So another thing about your background, your Wikipedia page does state that your grandfather was a state champion in track as well around the 1950s. Did you know that before you became interested in running? Was that something in your back of your head?
Yeah. I started running when I was pretty young, but like not very competitively or not very well. And my dad ran in high school, and he had always told me about my grandpa and how well he had done. And then I think when I was a freshman or sophomore, we actually found his state championship medal.
Wow. And
so my mom brings it to every meet that I go to as like kind of a good luck charm. But he was a stud back in the day, and times have changed quite a bit. People are getting a lot faster, but for the times, he was running on like clay tracks and like dress shoes.
You think you could beat him in a race?
I'd like to think so, but if you put me in the 1950s with what they were running and probably their training, I think, maybe it would have been up for contest, but
it'll be entertaining for sure.
Yeah.
With that, we have another prop if you would like to bring it up, Eddie.
Guess we can probably give this one back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I give this one back to him. And with that, here you go. If you like to pass that
Oh
along.
yeah.
You remember that one?
I do remember this one. This was like one of the all-time coolest things, and I got this. So Arcadia Invitational is one of the. It's like the premier race in California, besides outside of the state meet, and for me that was always just even trying to qualify to be able to run the race, and then being able to win. And what was so significant about this was it was what they call like the deepest race, like 2-mile race in high school history, because so the 9-minute barrier, it's like 430 miles is like the huge thing if you can break that. And it was the most guys ever to go under 9 in a race. I think it was like 20 something. I ended up winning and getting the meet record. I think it was 8:41. And it was just like so much faster than I ever could have expected. And it was one of those moments that just like, I felt like I was jogging it, honestly. And I remember I got to the line and I took off my warm-up shirt and I didn't have my jersey underneath. And so I had my spikes on and I jumped up and over the fence, and I was running through the metal bleachers with my spikes on, trying to find my coach because he had my backpack.
Yeah.
And so I think that actually set the stage really well for me, because I was so nervous for the race, but then I was like only focusing on that.
Yeah.
So all the nerves went away. Just went out there and like wasn't focused on that. I was so overwhelmed by other stuff that like running just felt so much easier because I didn't have to think too hard about it. And so it was really cool. And they sent me this, which is an amazing memento, and I think it deserved to be here. And so it was really cool. My coaches really were super proud of this one, and it's crazy that it's still here.
I mean, just to be in the deepest field, like just to be in that field is already a great testament to how great you are.
When you beat it by 20 seconds.
Yeah.
To win and get the meet record. That's
No, that was huge, and a lot of people. It's in Southern California, and people were coming from the East Coast, Midwest, all over. So for me, it was kind of a national meet of sorts. So that was a huge milestone in my career as well, and a lot of really kind of solidified me in my head for where I was and what I could do.
Where would you rank that in all your events and all your great memories of running?
It's up there for sure. There's been I've run hundreds of races. It's hard to put anything in a certain order, but when I really look back and think about it, it's like such an amazing moment. And, I would definitely put that top 10.
Yeah, so you talk about that high level of performance you've had and you still have today. How do you maintain that? Is there any specific diets, conditioning? What goes into that?
Yeah, it's a lifestyle really. You can't turn it off. A lot of people that I talk to, they're like, oh, you run for 2 or maybe 3 hours a day. How is that a job? You're not working 8 hours. It's so easy. But arguably the time in between runs and after are more important, and the recovery and how you're fueling and things like that. So it is a 24/7 job, and you have to make a lot of sacrifices when it comes down to it. There's a lot of things that a lot of my friends that I come home and see are doing, and it's just can't really participate as much. And but it's all worth it for kind of a larger goal. You have to have a big picture view of it all, and if you're kind of nitpicking the smaller things, I feel like it's hard to be pretty happy doing it, but I feel really fulfilled doing it. And it's been my passion forever, and I get paid to do it, and I would do it for free. The fact that it can be a job is enough motivation in itself. And then there's so many goals, and I'm surrounded by really, really good training partners, and it kind of just gets me excited every day.
Yeah, it's really just awesome being able to do what you love and also make a living off of it.
I know, it's one of those things that when I was literally in high school, I was like, it's not a job. It's I could go to college for it, which would be awesome, but then that's it. And the transitions and the ways things progress, and you start running faster, and then it starts to kind of become a reality that I could continue to do this.
Yeah. And for like the big stage or like a big race, like is training different for that? Like getting ready for that or no?
Not really. It kind of depends. The hardest thing is being okay with being tired going into a big race and like knowing that there's bigger things on the horizon. And when you truly get to kind of the pinnacle of where you want to be, whether it's like USA Championships or World Championships or Olympics or something like that, then you get a little bit of a break and you really earn it. But before that, it's like you have to be used to being tired and not feeling great and still being able to kind of show up and show what you have. Because everyone's tired, everyone's training, everyone's doing it, and you can't really feel sorry for yourself in the sport because there's everyone deals with things, and it's really about seeing the positives in my head and seeing where you're at and kind of taking every race with kind of a little bit of leeway. And I think having short-term memory is really a big thing, and just not putting too much weight on one single thing.
You talk about the weight of the races that you're in. Do you classify them in different ways? Like, do you lead up to one, like, oh, this is a really big race compared to others? Or?
Yeah, definitely. Like, we had the Olympic trials this past summer, and it's just like, I think I struggled a little bit just like on the mental side and just putting so much pressure on a single meet, whereas stuff outside of that, I did super well, and I ran really fast times, won a bunch of races, and by the time you get to the Olympic trials, like you have 3 rounds of the 1500, 2 rounds of the 5K, and it's 5 races, like basically all out within 8 days. So I think it can get to you, and it got to me a little bit this year, but it's all things you learn from, and figuring out how you kind of deal with that stress and calm yourself down.
Right. With all this like physical strain, like just wondering, like, what are like the biggest kind of injuries that like runners deal with or have you dealt with?
A couple years ago, I had won the USA Championships and qualified for the World Championships, and but 2 weeks before USA's, I had gotten a stress fracture in my tibia. So that's a pretty common thing. Stress fractures kind of all over feet, legs, shins, quads, things like that. And that I still was able to run really well at USA's, but by the time 3 weeks later I went to Worlds, I was just like didn't have it. And so it's pretty hard to, there's so many little things you have to do to make sure you're always healthy, and there's so many like supplements you have to take and make sure you're eating right, and you have to get your blood tested and make sure your iron's high, your calcium's high, and there's so many little things that when I was in college I would get injured, very like small injuries really often, because I was just like wasn't doing the little things that I needed to do, and now I've only had kind of one big injury since then in my last 3 years. So there's a handful of things people get all the time, but I think for the most part, if you're diligent about knowing your body and feeling it out before, I think that's where people go wrong. So if you know your body and you know how to rest and recover, usually you can kind of get away unscathed.
Definitely. And I mean, compared to other people, I'm sure you've gotten away pretty unscathed.
Yeah, no, I've been very fortunate. There's a lot of people who are super talented, super hardworking, but kind of just riddled with injury, and it's a sad truth of the sport. It's like some people just are prone to injury, and you can't really change that. And so I've been super blessed with my health, and I think the biggest thing in track is consistency, and it's not day to day or week to week. It's like year to year. You truly have to stack the years, and your prime isn't until you're around 28. So I'm 25 now, and 3 more years, you have to like build your aerobic system and all this stuff. So there's a lot that goes into it, and it's a long-term process, which is kind of hard to wrap your head around sometimes. But it's good to take a step back and realize that there's not one thing that makes or breaks your career.
Yeah, I know you're thinking about all the serious things that go on, but just to take it a little lighter,
That's
Did they just have regular bells?
Yeah, it was like whatever comes on after this. Yeah, it was that.
Oh, we
We didn't have the whole karaoke.
Anyways, before we were rudely interrupted by that bell, going back to something a little lighter, do you have a favorite event or something you specialize in?
Yeah, I definitely have tried to be like a 1500 or like the mile. I think is easier for most people to wrap their heads around, but I really wanted that to be my event, and I've really tried to make it my event. And, I won USAs in it, and I did really well in it in college. I have the collegiate record in the mile. But really, I think when it comes down to it, I'm more of a 5K runner, and the 1500 is so much more fun. It's so much faster and more intense. But the 5K, I think, is where my specialty really lies. So I think this year I'm gonna really kind of put more of my eggs in that basket and make that be, probably my primary event. I'll still run the 1500 because it's so much more fun. But when it comes down to it, you gotta really give yourself a chance to, qualify for these international teams and stuff like that. And I think that's my best chance.
Yeah, I think definitely, like, you talk about the 1500 being more fun. It's just like, you want to just go all out. Like,
yeah.
You don't want to worry about stamina. You just want to go.
I know. It's like, it is a sprint for as long as it is. And I always talk to, like, my agent. He always says there's, like, the 3, like, money-making events or, like, really primary events that people know. And it's, like, the 100, the 1500 or mile, and then the marathon. And so you really want to be in one of those. But yeah, I think the 5K is a good test of like mental strength more, which I think I could use. So gonna do that more this year, I think.
It'll be great training.
Yeah.
And how is like running in college and like pro like different from high school?
Yeah, I think in high school it was such a fun thing to do, and I never put too much pressure on it. I think that's why I did super well in high school. It was always just something I could do, not something I had to do. And once you get to college, it's like, okay, I'm here, I'm on this team, like I got recruited for this is big, and I feel like I put more emphasis on that maybe than like it was kind of 50-50 with that in school, and but it felt like a bigger part of my life and something that I had to do. And same with now, like, you have a contract, you have a sponsor that you want to really make happy, and it's your livelihood, so it feels like there's maybe a little bit more pressure on it, whereas for this it was running for yourself, running for your teammates, and not really running as much for an outside thing.
Because I feel like even for all sports, like just playing sports in high school, you get to do it with your friends and stuff.
Exactly.
It's a lot, like, lighter.
Yeah, it is. It truly is. And like I feel like there's maybe a little bit more time to just like mess around.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I used to every Friday we would leave class early and we'd run to the beach, and then we would just wait there until everyone else ran by, and then we'd play volleyball and we'd come back. I was like, didn't feel like I had to do too much, and still could be good.
That's awesome.
And what was was there like a big atmosphere change, like when you're running a race in high school versus college or the pros? Like, what was the change like? Yeah,
it's so weird because you're getting recruited to college, and usually you're the best guy at your school, the best guy in your state, one of the best people in the country, and the second you get to college, you're knocked down a couple pegs, and it's just like, it's so much more intimidating because everyone there, you're running a cross country race, and it's the best guy you were racing in high school times 100 of them, and they're even better than that. And so it's really daunting, and I think it can be hard for people to realize that you don't just make those jumps right away, and it takes time. So it definitely is a little bit more intimidating. I feel like it's not as easy to just feel like, okay, I got this one. It's so variable, and there's so many good people. And so, in that regard, and then especially when you get to the pros, you're racing people from other countries, other continents, and everyone's has done just as much as you, if not more. So it really comes down to how badly you want it, and yeah, in high school, it's just like you could kind of get away on talent.
Yeah, exactly.
And now there's none of that. Like, you have to really work your butt off and do all the little things.
Yeah, because in high school you're against the whole field, but in college you're playing against the best people from high school, and in the pros you're playing the best people from college.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
it's just like, I guess the intensity goes up.
Yeah. No, you the caliber of the fields is so much higher. There's not like, okay, I know I'm going to beat at least 10 of these people on any day. Now it's like, okay, every single person in this field could
win.
Yeah, beat me on any day, and it's such a variable sport. Like, you never know how you're gonna feel on a certain day, if you're gonna get a cramp or what's gonna happen. So, yeah, every time you feel good, you got to really make use of it.
Can you talk about like a lot of the aspects of playing the actual sport or running and like pros in college? But how is like your life or your lifestyle different from when you ran in high school and college to now being a professional runner?
Yeah, I think it's actually better and probably easier because you can focus 100% on it. It's like college, you get up, you work out at 6 or 7 in the morning, and then you go to class all day, and then at 3 o'clock you run again, you do weights, and then you go back and you do homework. And there's not really ample time to recover in. I was like living in the dorms, eating terribly. I was eating a pack of Chips Ahoy cookies every night. And now it's like, okay, I have money to get good food, get high quality ingredients and things like that. And now I have time to make really good meals and make sure I'm doing these things. And, like a big part is like, I can take a nap during the day and like recover and make sure like that is your biggest priority outside of the physically running aspect of it. And so, yeah, I think you see such big gains after college because you learn how to recover. You have to really be okay with being bored, which I think I struggle with. I always want to be doing something, so that part kind of sucks. But if you can find hobbies, then you're golden.
I mean, I think it's better than going to class.
I would say so.
Anything is better. But yeah, I also think it just gives you, you can just say it just gives you more time to focus on what you're actually doing. It's not like you don't have to worry about 2 things now. This is your whole life.
Exactly. It is your whole life, and you can give 100% to it, not 50-50. It's like, I can focus on this all hours of the day, and it's not like, okay, I have to stop focusing on this and focus on something else.
Yeah, and I guess it's when it's something you really love and it's your passion, it's just that much easier.
Exactly. Yeah, it doesn't feel like work. Like the harder part is doing the stuff in between for me. Like going for a run is kind of a given on a day. So, yeah.
And so with that, we have one more special little item for you. Yeah, you could bring that.
The liquidation sale.
Yep.
Oh gosh, I hate this picture.
You hate it?
I hate it.
So yeah, the question is, how significant is this to you? And like, what was your first reaction of like when this came out?
Yeah, I mean, when they were telling me about like, oh, we want to put you in the magazine and everything, I was like, it's so crazy because Alameda is such kind of a small community, and it really felt like I was kind of a cornerstone of it, and I had a place in it. And yeah, to be put on like the cover of something like this was really, really cool, and they made me feel really special. And yeah, it was just so insane because I'd never really, you see pictures here and there, but like to have it physically there, and like my neighbor has this and their neighbor has this and everyone, it's such a kind of bizarre feeling. But it really does make you feel like you're famous, even if it's, just going out throughout your town. Like, yeah, I feel like I always was maybe even recognized too much during my time when I was here. Like, they gave me a day. They gave me 2 days, actually. I have Cooper Teare Day in Alameda. Yeah.
Really? Oh, that's cool.
Which is
we should have recorded it then.
Yeah, we should have. I don't even know what day it is. Sometimes people will text me like I'm celebrating. Like, I don't even know that was today. I think it's like February or something. But yeah, I mean, I was always. Yeah, definitely. We'll do a reunion podcast. But
do a speech.
I always felt so loved and kind of respected by the city of Alameda and Saint Joe's and everything. So getting this was really kind of the cherry on top.
I mean, you can't ask for much more. Like, you are like the biggest person here since Jason Kidd.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I know, insane. I think I have more banners than him.
Oh,
so
I think you do.
Probably.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, with that, you talked about your life as a professional runner, and you also talked about your sponsorship. Would you like to touch on your little Nike sponsorship a little more, if you could? How'd that begin? And
Yeah, again, it was like such a far-fetched dream that I had in high school and college, and by the end of college, I was really lucky being at Oregon. It's such like kind of a pipeline to Nike.
Yeah.
I mean, they call it Nike University sometimes, but we were really blessed with just all the stuff we got there, and made some really good connections, and I feel like I just kind of proved myself and really put myself out there. And yeah, getting approached by them and getting offered a contract was a dream come true, and something that I don't think I ever could have turned down. And yeah, it's been amazing. I got to sit with Phil Knight for like 30 minutes at a meet and just like chop it up with him and have him tell me like, oh yeah, I've been following your career, which is so insane. So some of these things that like as a kid, if you would have told me, I would have been like, no way. But yeah, it's been surreal, and they're so supportive, and there's a lot of very good perks that come with it. So yeah, I mean, it's truly my dream job, and I'm just trying to make it last for as long as I can, because yeah, the reality with this job is it can't last forever. You're not always gonna be in your prime running. Like, you never know when an injury can cut it short. So I'm trying to just soak it up while I can, and really just live in the moment, and realize what I have and where I'm at, and never take it for granted. So yeah, again, dream job. It's really cool. I think a lot of people expect that there's way more that comes with it, and there's perks and stuff, but yeah, it's not like I'm like LeBron who gets anything he wants whenever he wants. So but yeah, it's really awesome, and they treat me super well, and yeah, it's crazy.
would you say you have a specific best part of the sponsorship? I mean, obviously you got the shirt on, you got the shoe.
Yeah, the free stuff is pretty sweet. No, they're super supportive, and what I think is really cool is they really touch on their athletes too. Like they want their products and stuff to be proven by athletes, so I get the chance to get a lot of like prototype gear and things like that, and I've a couple times gone to headquarters and talked with shoe designers, and they've shown me ideas and asked for input. So I feel like I'm really part of the process, and some of the running shoes that come out, like I've tested and I've given them input, and they've changed things based off what I've said, which is like such a ridiculous thing, and it's crazy, and it's really cool to be part of the process. Like that's more gratifying than just getting like a box of shoes or something.
You're like there, like changing and pretty much creating and helping design it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's crazy. Yeah, it's really rewarding, and it's cool when a year later something comes out and you're like, okay, I did that thing. So that's really cool. It's very fun.
So what is your favorite memory running here at SJND?
I think my freshman year is definitely my favorite memory. I was the puny little freshman, came in and just started running really well, and ended up being like a scorer for our team, and we won the state championship they had won it by 1 point the year before, and I think we won by like 50 points. So we won definitely like a crazy dominant showing, and I had a lot of juniors and seniors on the team who I really looked up to, that guided me quite a bit, even just that freshman sophomore year. And so to be able to come in and immediately win a state title, I think set the precedence for the rest of my time here, and how good I wanted to be, and just getting a taste of that success as like a 14-year-old was so inspiring. So yeah, being on that team and being with people that really guided me and helped me mature, and being able to do something like that, the individual stuff is awesome, but I feel like it's so gratifying doing things with a team, and because it's not a super team-oriented sport like running isn't in general. So being able to do cross country and like have that team aspect of it was so awesome.
That's awesome.
And what are your goals for the future, like, of your running career, like 2028 Olympics? Like, what's set out for you?
Definitely. Yeah, definitely LA 2028. I'll be 28 years old, hopefully in my prime. And yeah, they have World Championships in Tokyo this coming summer. So definitely want to do that. Hopefully set an American record in some event somewhere. And yeah, just keep having fun, honestly. That's the second it feels like I don't want to do it anymore, the running will go downhill. So just keep enjoying it, having fun, and you know, making sure to remind myself where I am and how lucky I am. Yeah, just I feel like if I can continue to run as long as I can, I'll be happy with whatever that brings.
And is running your, like, full-time job, or do you have any, like, job outside of it?
Full-time job.
And what are your thoughts about coaching in the future?
It's possible. I don't think I would want to coach. There's a lot of, it's like a pretty easy segue job, I feel like, that a lot of people take after. But I don't know. I just don't think I can be, like, hard enough. I'd be too nice, and I would try to be on the team myself. So I don't think coaching is going to be in my future, but who knows?
Yeah, do you have any other ideas or an idea of what you want to do after running, possibly?
Yeah, I mean, I've always talked about, like, doing product design, and like I was telling you guys earlier, being involved in that is, I mean, you gain so much knowledge just seeing how these people work and how they go about, and like the process of creating a shoe and being so meticulous on every little detail. And I think that's so cool. But at the same time, you know, I moved to Virginia after college. I was living in Oregon for a long time, and we're creating a team with me and some of my other teammates, and kind of building a brand and a business around it. And that's really fun to kind of figure out the ins and outs of trying to build something yourself. So maybe continue that and like build a business of some sort, or keep this one going. So we'll see.
Yeah, and then being a Nike athlete, you're already gaining that experience just helping out just to design shoes. So I mean, you're off to a great start.
I know. It's so interesting because, like, I didn't really have a job in high school. I was just running, and then I went to college, and this has, like, kind of been my only job. So I don't have a lot of experience, but I feel like I have a lot of knowledge that has come with just this job and the things that come with it. So yeah, I think trying to find something that's still kind of in the running world would be really cool.
Yeah. I mean, you can't ask for much more with this being your first job.
I know.
Yeah, you really can't.
I was like a camp counselor and then pro runner.
Yeah. Pro runner.
So that's not the best resume ever, but
you never know. Anyways, for our last question here, do you have any advice for athletes in high school right now, or what would you tell them, or what would you tell yourself as a freshman going into SJND?
Yeah, I think, you know, the biggest thing is not to put too much pressure on yourself ever. At the end of the day, like, I know a lot of kids who came to high school and, you know, they would cry after every loss, and I think it's great to be super passionate, but having kind of that perspective of, you know, this isn't my whole life. I'm so young. I don't know a lot, and you know, every win or loss is something to learn from. So kind of taking every you know, everything in stride and trying not to put too much pressure on yourself. But, you know, I think one of the biggest things for me is, like, be passionate about it. Don't like, you shouldn't care about feeling like you're too nerdy about something. Like, caring is cool, and you know, the more you can immerse yourself in a sport or the people around it, like, the more excited you're going to be to do it, and the more willing you are to go that extra mile for it. So yeah, be nerdy, like,
Exactly.
immerse
Cool.
yeah, exactly. Immerse yourself in what you're really passionate about, because, you know, you won't be passionate about a ton of things, but, like, if you find something that's really your passion, like, go for it.
And then that can become your job.
Exactly, yeah. I know. Like, don't sound Nike, but I would have done it for free. Like, and so that's the beauty of it all. So
Nike didn't hear that.
yeah.
Anyways, that's all our questions for today. Thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciate it again. And yeah, we do have a gift for you.
Oh, no way.
Just to show our thanks for everything
Yeah.
you brought to the school here.
I know you get a lot of Nike merch, but
Yeah, but you know.
it's a neat present.
Wow. All right. Let's see it. Oh, wow. Oh, you guys hooked it up. All the SJND merch. Scarf. I actually just lost my water bottle, so I'm going to use this today.
Oh, we got a coffee cup.
There's 100 things. Oh, these are... When did the koala become...
It was a couple years.
Okay, I like it.
I don't even know, to be honest with you.
Hat. Man, you guys... This is everything. I appreciate it.
We tried our best to go all out.
These are awesome. Yeah. Thank you. I mean, there's too much stuff to pull out here. These are sweet. Appreciate it. Thank you guys. Yeah. Thank you guys for having me on. This was awesome.
What's going on, pilots? Thanks again for making it this far in the video. It was great having Cooper back.
Make sure to watch out for the Easter egg. There will be a Nike shoe somewhere in the background of this video. And if you comment the timestamp, send proof of like and subscription to the channel to one of the emails below, you'll be entered into a raffle to win a $50 Nike gift card, sponsored by me. So look out.
And here are some interviews from student athletes talking about the pasta feed.
See you guys next time. Thanks for watching.
Peace. What's going on, everybody? Today we're here with
Miss Finnessy.
what sport do you coach?
I coach swimming.
And due to the pasta dinner coming up, where would you like to see the extra money that you guys get go towards the swim program?
Yeah, so I'm really excited for the pasta dinner and for everything that the boosters do in our fundraising for it. And I would really love if we could get some like matching team suits so we can have some cool team suits for our swimmers.
Sounds good. Hopefully we'll see you guys there.
What is your guys' names and what sports do you play?
My name's Robbie Phelan and I play baseball.
My name is Zach Lopez and I also play baseball.
Okay, so you guys know the pasta dinner's coming up. And what proceeds would you like from the pasta feed to go to the baseball?
Well, first of all, we're just really thankful for this pasta dinner and all the proceeds that are going to be raised for us. And I feel like maybe we could just get some new uniforms, you know? New uniforms make you feel good. The flashier you look, the better you play, so.
Yeah, we like our uniforms as they are, but we would always love an upgrade. And we'd also like maybe some new equipment, so anything to help out there.
My name is Lexi Rubin and I play volleyball and softball for the school.
Okay, as you know, the pasta feed is coming up and it's a fundraiser for our athletic department here at SJND. Where would you like the proceedings to go to for your sport?
Well, I'm super grateful that the Booster Club is fundraising for all the sports teams, but I would love to see some money go to getting more gear for our team, so more practice shirts, even new jerseys, and then even cheering stuff for our student sections.
My name is Amari Tolden and I play basketball.
Okay, so the pasta dinner is coming up. And what would you like the extra money we get to go to for basketball?
Well, first, I would like to express my gratitude to the pasta feed because I know it's been going on for a long time and I appreciate the boosters supporting us with all the money that they can. But I would really like to see the money go to new uniforms, warm-up jerseys, and maybe extra gear for us, for the team.
Thank you.
My name is Coach G and I coach softball here.
Okay, as you may know, the pasta feed fundraiser is coming up and the proceedings will be going to our athletic department here at SJND. What would you like to see that money go to with softball?
I would like to get some brand new equipment. That'd be great to have. I mean, the boosters have really taken care of us with jerseys and everything else. But other than that, we're doing great.
So if I take these apples, are you guys going to the pasta feed October 12th?
I'm going regardless. Yes, I love pasta.
Thank you.
Hey, today we're here with
Mr. Smith. I coach girls soccer.
and the pasta feed dinner is coming up. Where would you like to see the proceeds and extra monies go towards the soccer program?
Yeah, so absolutely. If you haven't bought tickets yet, October 12th, Ray Rado Pasta Dinner. Thankful for the boosters and everyone that's going to come out and support us. We would love to have some money come in to go towards uniforms and possibly some camera equipment.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
See you guys there.
See you there.
Hi, can you introduce yourself and what sport you play?
Hi, I'm Isabel, and I do cross country, track, and soccer.
Okay. As you may or may not know, the pasta feed is coming up this October 12th, and essentially it's a fundraiser for the athletics department here at SJND. Where would you like to see the money go to for your sport?
First, I would say uniform, and if we get a little bit more money, then some blocks.
Why blocks?
Well, we use blocks for track, which makes us faster and makes our times much better.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
It's my first time seeing the new weight room. Whoa. Yeah, it was just like 6 racks that went this way and the oldest dumbbells ever. So where's the spot? And how big?
As big as you like, man. As big as you like. You're the first one to put this on this nice little wall. Where you to put it?
Might just center it. And my signature is not great.
That's so cool.
awesome, bro.
All right.
Oh my God, thank you so much, bro.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Thank you guys for having me. That was awesome.
That was awesome.